Well, hello everybody. It's May the 7th and it's 9 o'clock and I'm here to do my Google Hangout, the Ripple, which is the Virtues Project ripple effect that I would like to make in the world, based on some meaningful and deep conversation. So hope you're here to join us, join the conversation, and I'm just in the process of setting up our virtues pick. I wish there was a way I could pause this, but there isn't. And I've got quite a glare off my glasses, so I do apologize for that. I'm just looking for my YouTube app. There we go. Opening my my Google my Hangout toolbox, or sorry, the Google Effects toolbox. I always like to start with my my seeing eyeglasses. Helps me to remember to see things in a whole new way. Perhaps the monocle. Or the scuba diver. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit like a scuba diver today. Anybody on the call, you're welcome to join me live. There's a chat box up on the left-hand corner as well, where you are welcome to type your name and let me know if you have any questions. We're here to talk virtues tonight, and I've done a virtues pick, really just waiting for someone to join me. So come on with your video camera if you can. If you're on your telephone and you can figure out how to access the chat box, I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'm just going to snorkel around and wait for others to arrive. So please forgive my playfulness today. There's interesting backgrounds too, which I'm trying to figure out how to use. So I'm just going to jump in and out here while I'm waiting for people to arrive. I made the mistake of I made the mistake of opening the wrong kind of Google Hangout earlier, so that's a bit of a challenge. I made the mistake of doing that. So, Elizabeth, if you're there, I'd love to hear from you. I see that you've indicated that you're going to join me, but I'm not seeing anybody, except, of course, my fine self, which I'm not enjoying very much. It's the thing I haven't quite figured out is when I'm here by myself, how do I actually do the virtues discussion and in a meaningful way? So that's my my present challenge. But I'm here at the beach. I'm enjoying the scene. Looking to my Google chat to see if anybody's dropped me a message. Unfortunately, I can't see who's online. It shows me that one person is viewing, but I have no idea who that is. So if you're there, if you have audio, give me a shout out, and I'd love to hear from you. So we have 2 viewers on the call, and I'm just here enjoying myself at the beach until I have somebody arriving through video. So it'd be great if you could either find the chat box and open up a conversation. I can see somebody coming in and out, so I'm anticipating that perhaps you're on your phone, or maybe it's like last week where not everybody had a microphone. Okay, Elizabeth, I'm reading. Elizabeth's coming to snorkel with me, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. So I wish I could help you, Liz. I'm afraid I'm not quite sure how to best direct you. So I'm just going to ramble on here. I'm sorry that that it's sort of free rambling. I'm having to jump windows to windows, and yes, Elizabeth, I can read this. It's in a different window. It's not showing up in my Google Hangout chat window, and unfortunately, my phone is kaput, so I can't receive texts either. But I'm going to pull out this window so that I can keep it. Sorry, I'm talking to myself just because there's somebody else here to talk to. It's getting kind of lonely here, folks. Not gonna lie. Okay, so I'm just setting myself up here so I can do a Google Hangout and have my my page open so I can see things that people are writing to me. Elizabeth, it's only because you're wearing that mask that I'm so interested in your ramble. Aw. That's really sweet. But where are you, Elizabeth? Are you able to get in with video, or hey, I see we're here also with is it Sabu? So I'd love to see some people on video call with me so I can stop snorkeling around the ocean and start having some meaningful conversations. So Elizabeth is trying to get online as well, so if you can hear me, there's a chat box in the window. I would love to, you know, respond to questions, even have a text dialogue if that's what's helpful for others. I see people sort of popping in and out, so not really sure what's the best angle here. But I'm going to gonna just invited you again, Liz. I'm not sure if I'm sure you're in because you can see me rambling and hear me rambling. So that's about all I can do. There you are! Yay! It's so interesting being in here all by yourself. So Liz, I can see that you're in, but I'm still not hearing you. It says you've joined the group. See me rambling. There you are. Rambling, so. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yay.
Oh, you're on such a delay.
Yay. Yeah.
I was trying to not join.
It's so interesting being in here all by yourself.
Well, and I was trying not to join, but because of those snorkels, I thought, you can't be alone.
Bless you, bless you. Do you want to snorkel up, or you just, as you've joined the group? There you go.
But you're delayed, like you've got an echo and a delay.
I can hear you now. Oh, we're stuck in a loop.
There's something going on. I was trying to not join.
It's so interesting being in here all by yourself.
Well, and I was trying not to join, but because of those snorkels, I thought, you can't be alone.
Bless you, bless you. Do you want to snorkel up, or you just join the group?
Okay, let me tell you. We have. You're delayed, like you're. I'm getting the same information. I'm getting an echo. I'm getting.
We're stuck in a loop.
Yes, sure am. There's something going on. I was trying to not join. Oh, it's looping, looping.
It's looping around and around. That's so interesting.
I was trying not to join, but because of those snorkels, I thought, you can't be alone.
Bless you, bless you. Do you want to snorkel up, or you just... God. How do I get out of here?
I'm getting the same information. I'm getting an echo. I'm getting... Yes, sure am.
Crazy. It's crazy. Okay. There. Oh, and now you're gone. That's hilarious. I took my snorkel off and you left. So, thank you, Elizabeth. That was a little bit of fun there. Too bad we were stuck in a loop. I don't know what the deal is. Unless you had your phone, perhaps you had your phone still on. I am so I just got a notice from that Margaret Muhammad is coming online, so that would be awesome if Margaret, if you're here. I'd love to spend a little bit of time just connecting. And I heard also from Bill Green, who says, gotta work tonight, off to the beach tomorrow. So hope you're having fun at the beach, Bill. And I'm at the beach too. And I have 2 viewers and no one to talk to yet. So I'm really waiting for someone to come on the line so I can chat. And as Elizabeth has suggested earlier, I've just been snorkeling around and rambling. So thanks for joining me, and I still haven't figured out how I'm gonna play out this hour if I'm here all by myself. So I guess that'll be my next teachable moment. And I have a bit of a background here because I'm pretending I'm at the beach, so it's conflicting with my real life here. It's conflicting with reality. There it is. There's my perfect place. Reminds me of the beach where Dan and Linda probably can look out their balcony and just be right there on the Cook Islands. Absolutely beautiful. And now I'm alone again. No viewers. So this is definitely a challenge when I'm here on my own. So from inside the Hangout, I'm going to try and send an invitation to Margaret. See how that goes. See if she has any better luck coming online. And in the meantime, I'm going to, oh, I've lined up my virtues pick. So that's good. Make sure my screen sharing is, yep, I'm ready with that. And I think I'm going to put my snorkel back on. So we are here live. The Agents of Change. We are sharing a random virtues pick tonight. We are hoping that others will be joining, and that I won't be here rambling on my own all for the next hour. I'm just looking through my apps. I have a cameraman apparently in here. Hello, Elizabeth.
I'm back. Is that normal
Yay.
now?
Yeah, it's way better.
Well, I was on Google. I guess you invited me to Google Firefox through Firefox. So I went on Chrome. I closed Firefox. Oh, that was funny.
Well, I took my gear off and then I put it back on because I was in here alone again, and it's honestly, I don't know what to do with myself when I'm here by myself.
I think you were doing so well, I must say. I have to totally say you were doing so well. It was the funniest thing ever. Now you've got all this gray stuff.
Yeah, I have this beautiful beach background, but there's a distance setting, I think.
Yeah, and basically, if you get too close to the screen, all it is your goggles.
I don't know how to get the beach back. It's kind of there. I know
Well,
at one point I was saying like this, reality is totally interfering with my beach. I don't know how to separate reality from my perfect place.
other people are trying to get in, so who knows whether they're hearing you as we speak. Oh my goodness, that was so funny, and the way it looped and looped and looped.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
strange. Ideally, if people are watching, I think I see that they're watching, but I have no idea. This is all very new to me, and I'm just exploring. So, do you want to put some goggles on, or are you happy just to hang
Well,
out
I was
au
trying to figure out
natural?
what happens is when I hit my toolbox, which is where I get my things, right?
Yeah.
It
Oh, the no, the Google Effects box. It's the
oh
yellow
okay.
one that looks like it has a magic wand.
Okay, here we go. I can
Yeah.
have some fun too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny, I tell you.
Oh,
What will
good.
I be?
I aim
What's
to
that?
please. What's what?
Well, it looks like something. Oh, it's kind of a mohawk. Oh, there
Oh,
you
yeah.
are. It doesn't stay with me.
Well, it will, but you have to move slowly. I'm
What
not
the
sure
heck?
that's I'm not sure slow is conducive to a mohawk, really.
No, I see. Okay, well, here we'll see what I'm gonna get next. Oh,
Oh,
I
nice.
hit randomized.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, oh, what's that?
Ooh, it's a Google devil nurse with a stash.
Oh my gosh. So what was the virtues that you picked?
I haven't announced it yet.
Oh, but you did pick it.
Yes, I did.
That got me very. Oh, Movember.
I can't blow. The virtue of creativity. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
isn't that great?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh, aren't we funny?
I love it. Really, really clever.
Yeah.
I just might leave it like that. I actually wish there was a lion. My hair is a bit lionish at the moment, so that would be quite delightful. I
Oh,
could.
I see the beach. Look.
There you are.
Look
You're
the
at
beach.
the beach. We're at the beach. I love it. I
Okay.
love it. So, are you feeling decked out? You feeling ready to have a conversation, or were you really just gonna hang out and listen?
Well, I wasn't gonna do anything of the kind. I was saying no, I'm not coming, but then I got so entranced by your being by yourself with your snorkeling around. I think
Oh,
it was so cute. So I thought
well,
I
we're
just
welcome.
I thought I had to give you some feedback.
Thank you. Well,
Oh,
I
you're
won't
very
keep you then. I won't hold you hostage here with me. Uh, you
well.
know,
No, I can talk to you. I mean, I just will tell you that I had a big meeting yesterday with the committee chairs, which was so much fun.
I would like to remind you that this call is being recorded.
Well, I'm just telling you, that was our first meeting. It was so much fun to get to know and see people who are in the virtue world.
Wonderful.
Yeah, really fun.
Wonderful. Oh, I
And
love that look on you. I wish you could get rid of the birthday cake because
well,
that looks good.
I'm trying.
I like it.
I
If
don't know
you
where. Oh, there it is. My pirate
there,
look.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, what? So creativity.
Yeah, no, well, the virtues actually, here, let me announce it. Let me do it proper like. I'm going to screen share. So our virtue is
Beautiful. Oh, not creativity.
no. I said we were practicing our
Oh,
creativity,
I see.
but the virtue's pick is moderation. Yes, creativity would have been way more fun.
Well, we were having. That's what I. That's why I got going. I got thinking that I could just keep going with this. Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to make that bigger, but I think I'm inadvertently making it smaller. Yeah, it's backwards. That's interesting.
What's backwards?
My control keys, when I push control and the plus key, it's supposed to enlarge, and it was that was making it smaller.
Oh.
Yeah. So let me read. Moderation is being content with
Yes.
enough. It is using self-discipline to create healthy balance between work, rest, reflection, and play. Moderation protects us from the pull of addictive desires. We do not grasp to do or have more in the belief that we are lacking. We do not try to be everything to everyone. We set healthy boundaries that value our time and energy. We protect ourselves from the stress of overdoing. We discern our own perfect rhythm. Moderation isn't deprivation. It's loving ourselves enough to choose what is just right. Moderation is the silken thread running through the pearl chain of all virtues. It's a quote by Joseph Hall. Practice of moderation. I spend my time and energy sustainably. I remember to pray and to play. I am free of addictions. I carry responsibility wisely. I protect myself from the stress of excess. I live gently and gracefully. I'm thankful for the gift of moderation. It frees me to enjoy my life.
That's nice. My I had a student when we first started introducing virtues um, into our classroom, and she was one of those children that at age of 6, I've known her since she was 3 years old, but at the age of 6 she was wise, 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 just a wise, wise human. And her strength virtue, and one that just resonated with her from 6 years old, was moderation. Every assignment, every time that she would hold, we'd share in circle, and we had a rose stone, heart-shaped rose stone, and the children hold it, and then they say what their virtue is, their strength virtue, on the first day of school, and then as we go through the year, it was, that it changed as they learned the language. Hers never changed. Always moderation. So proud of it.
She chose it.
She chose it. Oh, yes. Which was pretty unique for a 6-year-old. Most of them were saying friendliness and kindness, and she's in grade 7 now.
So what did she love the most about moderation?
I don't know. She wasn't a wise soul, so I think maybe it was just there was so much drama amongst the students. Just every day it could be drama, whether it's getting in a lineup or everything, right? And she just liked things to be quite serene. And I think that's how she articulated it. That's very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how about for you? How does moderation speak to you today?
Well, it doesn't, because I just ate an awful lot before I came online. Today, how it speaks to me is just trying to modulate my energy flow. That's why I wasn't joining. But you were so joyful there with your snorkel. So I was just getting into it's early, it's 6:30 here. I was getting into my bed with the heating pad and just I worked today. First day I've worked for a while. So I thought, oh, I've done enough for the day. Now I'm going to go to my bed.
Well, I see that you have done that. It looks like you're
I'm
in
on a
your
heating
bed.
pad.
So
Heating pad,
Wow.
very comfy.
Wow. So you're totally an inspiration to me how you can hang out in bed. So you're literally doing both things at the same time,
Yes.
honoring your own self-care and having a little fun and
Yeah.
hanging out. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I just have to remark on your honesty to share with me that you've just eaten a whole lot and and now are doing the lion thing. Back to the lions again. That's twice already. But you know, lions they eat and then they just lounge.
Well, they were all small portions. What can I say? I just got excited about everything that was in front of me. Now tell me, what about for you? What's moderation?
Well, oh, honestly, I'm going to have to say that it's speaking to me on a few different levels. One is around, for sure, around the choices that I select in terms of eating, because I'm recognizing that my joy of wonderful food is taking its own little toll, and I have to be careful, and I'm recognizing too that certain foods are not metabolizing well for me,
Hmm.
and they leave me feeling very tired. Tonight I ate some bread, and which I'm trying not to do, and I do find it just makes me feel very lethargic. So moderation is speaking loudly to me about the choices that I select and choose to fuel my body with. I
Yeah.
mean, it's it's a bit of a dance. I find myself, that in this juggle where I know what's best for me, I know what I need to do, and yet finding the ability to or maybe the moderation um, to actually select those things is it's a challenge. It's a battle.
It's
It's a battle.
challenging. It's challenging. I was thinking about my yoga practice when you were saying that and thinking it's so easy. It's 20 minutes. It makes me feel so good. It's online, so I just turn on my computer. It doesn't count, I don't depend on anybody. And I say to myself, self, you're going to do it tomorrow, and then I don't. And I think, why would I not make a choice,
Mhm.
a moderate choice? It's not an hour and a half. It's not running around to get someplace to relax.
Yeah.
What prevents, and when you said bread too, I thought, oh, I love bread. And I don't relate the lethargy to bread. I just, but I do relate. I have no sense of moderation. So, what makes moderation so easy for some people, and for others it feels more like restriction?
Mhm.
Can you put the card up again, please?
Mhm. Yeah. Can you see it?
Yes, I can. I'm just wondering. Well, but okay, moderation is being content with enough. Well, that's definitely something I believe I am, and what I know, a little of I know of you, you are. It's being self-disciplined to create healthy balance between worst. It doesn't say anything about bread. you know? Try not to be everything to everyone. Set healthy boundaries that value our time and energies. Protect ourselves from stress of overdoing. It's almost seems to be more related to work-play balance. And obviously not doing things that are like when it goes to addictions, things that are going to actually hurt you.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah.
mhm. I personally feel that continuing to eat grain products is hurting me because
Right.
I do not tolerate it well.
I
So
know.
it's the habitual, right? So in
Yeah.
a sense, it is addictive, and I hear what you're saying about, this is not, um, specifically saying about the care of choices
Yeah.
necessarily, but it does fall into this moderation piece
Yes.
because um,
Yep.
our ability to moderate comes down to self-regulation.
Hmm. Yep. No, and I know I'm just trying to justify bread as usual. So it is about the not deprivation. So what is the interesting thing for me is that it's either have nothing or are not restrict. And I guess that's I was trying to use your screen. That's the part that's difficult. Like I'm surrounded in very self-disciplined people in my family who are able to be very moderate when it comes to certain things. And I'm not. I'm known for not being. I'm known for just being impulsive that way. Um, and I guess why I've always put that impulsivity into the joy category as opposed into the anti-moderation. So it's kind of interesting, right?
Mm,
And yet I know when I change my focus, I think that's it more. And I think that speaks to the balance, right?
mm,
So it's not saying don't do this cause, it's saying do a little bit of everything because,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
And I have to have that mindset, and that's the part that then makes things easy. Have a little walk, have a little lug. Don't make anything so exact. I don't know. It's hard for me to figure it out, but
Hmm. Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. I think I really I like your I like the clarity that you have around distinguishing moderation uh, from what brings you pleasure. And
Mhm.
so is it so much, this is a particularly interesting one for me today because I also see moderation on another level. I see moderation in terms of how much can one person handle.
Mhm.
I have a dear friend who is just under so much emotional pressure from a variety of different scenarios going on in her life. And is that there's so here's a person who cannot moderate. It's not like you can moderate the stress that's happening to you.
No.
It's and entering into yet another stressful scenario when you're already coming with this just giant load of stress. How much can one person handle, and how can moderation be helpful? Because I'm in a process right now where I'm uh, calling on all of my instincts to help me to help my friends through this process. And so part of me is thinking about her when I'm reading this moderation card.
Mhm.
And I just texted, to somebody without giving any details, how much can one person handle?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
where does moderation? What do you think about moderation in that regard? Like, where does?
Well, I mean, okay, so I have a similar situation where I know someone who's having chemotherapy from breast cancer treatments, and what that's done, and again, I do not walk in that person's shoes, but what that's done is there's been a huge sense of clarity and urgency around what is essential. So that's a life stopper, right? Where you go, okay, I don't have a lot of choice here, so the choices I make have to be the right choices in this moment for me, for my family right now. That's moderation, right? To me, it's getting to that place where you decide I can do only so much, and I know exactly what that much has to be.
So it's boundaries. Comes to boundaries.
Yeah, yeah, and boundaries for the essentials, right?
Hmm.
I mean, and again, I look at, okay, we need to work, we need income. Well, no, you need to take care of yourself first. So then, and that sounds glib again. Like, who's to say what, what are your bills? So then you have to go to the creativity place and go, how can we manage this? And I mean, again, I was sort of giving from my own personal experience of having had a head-on collision and sort of having to step out of life and go, okay, looking back now, time becomes all relative, when you have a crisis like that. Not, and again, I'm knocking on wood as I say what I'm saying, because unless you're actually in it, it's easy to make comment and not be on the mark at all, right? It's very delicate.
Mm-hmm.
But here's another one. Have you've been at a birth of your own children, but you being at a birth of someone else's child, and you're in that room, and there is nothing outside that room. Nothing matters outside that room, and for some reason, you can all of a sudden have your entire life be in that room for that moment, right? And then you walk out of the room, the baby's born, and you go, whew, everything's still going on around you, right? So moderation, again, to me is like choosing what's important, what's urgent. It's not taking the stress away. It's not saying that you don't have to meet that commitment or obligation at a certain point, but you can just go prioritize and then cope in present, right? It's not denying future, but it's just saying in present, this is where I'll be right now.
I like that.
Yeah, and that is a bit of the moderation, right? And so then those choices about bread, as glib as that sounds, becomes, okay, do I really need this? Because I can have that bread tomorrow. And I know when I'm being an effective, responsible, mature eater, I can do that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's me saying.
Well, I really like that, and it makes me it reminds me too of the I've never been present at another birth, or just for my own children, but I've been present at 6 deaths.
Yes.
So it's the same at the other end of the spectrum.
Yes.
Where I totally understand what you're saying, where your whole life sits in that room with you.
Yeah.
And you can see things from an angle that the optic is never presented itself to you before.
Right.
And so moderation plays a key role in I think an awakening to what's truly meaningful in life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, so then it's looking at moderation as a choosing how you want to be in the moment, right? And that's the thing, choosing how you want to be. I mean, I was thinking of end of life things, and I've had about 4 experiences where it's kind of like, how long is this going to last? How long? When will this happen? What are we in right now? And nurses, doctors, they can't say, oh, you've got 2 days, you've got 5 minutes, you've got 3 weeks, and you really, it would be really handy if you could have that. And again, I'm talking about deaths of people who were of an age, and in my perspective, because they were of an age, it made sense. Now that's all changed too, but it's easier to understand a passing when someone is in their 80s than if they're in their 20s. So you know what I mean. But
absolutely.
But still, now that I have very, very close people to me who are in their 80s, it's not right, Ben. Everyone needs to live to 150 at this point in my life. But
the rules change.
Yeah, but at any rate, again, is that feeling of, when you are sitting in vigil, do you actually have that luxury to be able to do? I consider that luxury, to be able to actually be there in spite of not knowing what outcome will arrive. And one of my friends had this situation where she thought that the person that she was sitting in vigil with was going to die, and they didn't. They were just really sick. So but everyone around dropped everything and said, go, be there. You can't miss this. So that was a lesson too, right?
Yeah.
She did. And it was the right thing to do, but it wasn't what we all thought.
Right.
And no one went, oh wow, you just missed 4 weeks worth of work because you said this person was. You just don't do that. So how that relates to moderation is that sense of there's time for everything, and so when something, again, it goes back to when something's pressing and urgent right there, and I'll say the word indulge, but more, really be there for that, knowing that moderation is, on a time spectrum, is a balance, and so people sort of move around you. I mean, I'm sure for you, with all of that you're supporting with the technology, with virtues, I mean, can you call that moderation? And yet, look at the gems out of that work, the gems that you receive out of that work.
Right.
As long as you balance it with, you don't have to actually do it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. 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 I really appreciate your sensitivity to these things. It's interesting when you look at it from that perspective, and people, they often say, oh, it's so much time, like how much time does that take, to do all of that, and it's a volunteer position, so we look at it in a different capacity. If I was being paid to do the work that I do, then nobody would really question it, or perhaps they'd scrutinize it to such a degree that it would be different. But because what I do is volunteer, I just feel so blessed, and I do have the moderation, and I choose to moderate my life so that I have playtime. We just had girls afternoon out. We went out for dinner, we went out shopping.
Nice.
Just next Tuesday, my friend and I were getting together. We're going to go do labyrinth walking because we don't want to spend any money. So it's like, how do we balance these things in our life? And I think moderation is the perfect virtue to describe, that. And I feel too, in a sense, that I know that my purpose in life is to discover myself, and to live in harmony with the soul of who I am. So part of me feels like moderation is a perfect call to I guess really focus in on that and give myself uh, the identity, in a sense. To be able to look at it. And I know at one point I used this as a strategy to quit smoking, where I used this idea that the spirit of who I am, who knows what's best for me, is the stronger one, and who wants me to quit smoking. And the part of me, the human part of me that wants to smoke, really doesn't care about my health. It just wants to do what it wants to do. So I had to create this opportunity for dialogue between the two. So every time I would get a craving, I would have this pseudo conversation in my head between me and the spirit who knows what's best for me. So in a sense,
Very cool.
that's an aspect of moderation in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's really cool. And that is, think about it. That is the conversation that, with my yoga conversation, it's like, at night I'm saying, yeah, get up and do that. And then in the day I'm going, no. But if I wake up in the morning and I say, okay, here's what you're going to do. Who's talking to me? Not my body, but my spirit.
Right.
What you're going to do, and then just do it, which is the thing that gets me going, right? Just do it.
Yeah.
And those are on the things that, at the end of the day, they're better for you, but it's not exactly something that you want to just jump into for whatever reason, because I want to drink coffee and get on the computer and play on the newsletter. You know what I mean? So
well,
anyway.
Yeah, I really appreciate your perspective on things, and you just have such a caring and loving approach to everything you do, Elizabeth. And because I know you, I know these things, and I just feel so blessed to have you in my life, and and to to be journeying and to be sort of side by side with other people who are journeying as well. So it's a blessing to know you, and I love you dearly, and I appreciate your moderation and in hanging out, in wanting to lay down and rest, but hanging out with me anyway.
Well, and I tried to explain to someone, I know this is, as I said, it's kind of recorded, but I was saying, oh, I have this great new friend. I've never seen her in person.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain how you could hang out, or you could Skype, or you could talk on the phone and get to know someone really well. And now the person that I'm talking to knows the Virtues Project, knows that our core values include working and learning and living the virtues. So right away she knows that is very unique and very, very special, sacred. And so that was not a question for her. The technology was the question. What, Hangout? She couldn't get, So yeah, and so yes, Barbara. I mean, same. We are very, very lucky to have, found ourselves. I read an email that you'd sent me a lot. Well, it was last summer. I think I was giving my first sort of workshop where I knew I was going to be doing 12-hour workshop with the teachers at our school, and I'd gone through one of your PowerPoints. I don't know why, and found something that I wanted to use. Your boundaries on your heart boundaries.
Right.
And I really wanted to use it. And who was Barbara Mackenzie? Like, I didn't know. And so I sent you an email, and you give me so many affirmations for asking permission, for being honest, and I could feel the love coming through an email. I mean, which, I didn't have to retone. It was just your words, right? So again, virtues acknowledgement, virtues appreciation, no restrictions, no it was just really, really, really lovely. And then to now know who you are, and then to read it, and I'm like, oh, how cool! Like, it's just a really, really neat thing. So, and I found that with Betty too. That's I've never met her, but I can't wait to, So
right.
Gradually people will just come into that community place, and that's why I said we had such a wonderful meeting of the chairs of the committees, because everyone was so receptive, and so that's neat,
Yeah. Well, the last few years working with the board of directors and the Virtues Project and the founders, I mean, I just couldn't imagine a more blessed life for me. I feel. And it's difficult. I mean, it's a mixed blessing, and I'm going to say this on camera, and I would say this in front of anybody. It's a mixed blessing, because what it does is it sets me up for, in a sense, for an expectation for everybody else around me. So, and those are difficult shoes to follow. When I go into business dealings, I bring my work with me, but I can't make other people speak the language. I can't make other people behave in a way that, I mean, I can only invite them to it, and if they choose not to, then I have to, dance with that, and I find dancing with people who are involved in the Virtues Project beautiful, because we're synchronized, and we know the music, and we can dance together, and we can be caring and loving and kind to each other, and we can correct each other in a way that's dignified, and it leaves you feeling empowered, as opposed to the extremes on whatever spectrum of relationships that are out there.
And I guess and I hear that, because that's about the fear, right? The model that you set by doing what you do, that you do because of the strategies, is so powerful that even when you are with someone who hasn't had that any of the workshops or any of the experience, or even understands the strategies, if you just keep it really simple, you affect their sense of who you are, which then makes them feel safe and then interested. And then whether I want to know, what they want to know more, it doesn't really matter. It is what it is what it is. That is the power of it, right? And so, I like you. When I work in the school, it's so easy because when you're in charge, everyone kind of has to follow that lead, and then you can add things in. My struggle is with family, because when we pulled the gentleness card the other day, and I asked if I should show that card to someone in my family before we began our conversation, which was going to be a somewhat difficult conversation. And my mom said, leave the card, practice it. And I thought, she doesn't done the Virtues Project, my mother. She is virtuous. Yes. But her advice was so wise, right? Yeah. Leave the card, practice it, right? You can't make anybody. So I did. I practiced it. I walked into the conversation with my arms open and practiced gentleness, which is what the card said to do. Beautiful. I need a how-to. Those cards give me a how-to. What more after that? It's up to the universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And sing in your own song.
Yeah.
In your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I was wondering if I could now be moderate and give you an acknowledgement for hanging in with your unbelievably funny snorkel. And I love snorkeling with you, but I really do have to lie down.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with me.
No problem.
We're going to head out. I hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Come and join me, and we'll snorkel again.
Okay.
So until then, be well, and namaste.
Namaste. Bye-bye. Thank you. Love you.
Love you. So that's it for tonight, and I can still see that there's a viewer here. I'm sorry I don't know who you are, but I hope you've enjoyed popping in and out of this conversation, and perhaps next week you'll come live with me, and we can have a conversation about virtues. Tonight we talked about moderation, and with Elizabeth Hart and myself, Barbara Mackenzie. So until next time, take care.